You've seen these boxes here, there, and everywhere. Bookers, you've even seen us talk about how the presentation, this bottle's a 5 all day, 5 out of 5.
All day long.
If you've been following us for any length of time, you've seen our review on this one here, the 2023 batch 2, 2023-2 bottle. And you can find the review for that on savortheburn.com in the liquor cabinet. You can find it on YouTube, all the things. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a Booker's Vertical, which is the entire year, 2023, 1, 2, 3, and 4, all in one Savor the Burn flight.
And if you've watched more than one episode, you know by now we may have a thing for Jim Beam.
Definitely do. I know I do.
You got it.
So, stick around and watch this episode of Savor the Burn.
Let's do it.
So, welcome to this episode of the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Over here is Mr. W2. How do you do?
I'm excited.
I'm fucking stoked.
This is a lot of Bookers.
Yes. Yeah, Bookers. This has been a long time coming. And
so this started off with,
just the one.
We fell into batch 2 last summer.
We tried it.
And it was fantastic. And then I found 3, and then I found 4. Well, then I had to find number 1, and so I went on the hunt, and I was just about to give up.
Yeah.
And I
posted about it in one of the whiskey groups.
That's the thing. I had kind of given up locally hunting, and last-ditch effort, I just happened to be like, you know what? Let's reach out to the family. And so I posted in the Casey Whiskey Guild. I posted in the Kansas City Bourbon Whiskey Club. I think it was just those 2 that I posted in, and I think it was that one, the latter, that I got a response from someone that said, "Hey, well, I've got a couple extras. You know, I'd be willing to sell you one." So we met up at Red X. So it was great.
Yeah, Red X is a fun little store.
It is. It is.
It's always been a big thing.
It's much nicer these days than it used to be.
It is. Yeah, I really like the way it used to be, though. It's always kind of a shit show. You might get stabbed. This one here, you got the same old people. Red X, people watching that could happen. But whatever.
Yeah, and we're gonna, as we get into this,
listen to this. Nice.
We're gonna get into this, but we went ahead and did a pre-pour of our other 3.
Yep.
And we thought we'd just do an on-air pour for this one.
Yep.
We wanted them to breathe a little bit, but we also kind of wanted to show with Bookers, one of the things that you've heard us talk about, the presentation.
Yeah.
Because that's one of our categories. We've got 4 categories: nose, palate, finish, bottle presentation. Bookers, their bottle presentation comes in the wooden box with the plexiglass clear door on the front of it.
Neck cradle in here. There's
the wood burned,
an info tag or a little info sheet that comes with it. Yeah,
we got Bookers burned on one side, both sides, and on the back it's got Booker No in his rocking chair, his signature, and the bottle itself has a medallion. It's the B. Bookers.
Yep.
Medallion with a ribbon, and then that whole thing is dipped in wax.
Dipped in black wax.
It's got a kind of a parchment, handwritten kind of a look label to it. And then they also have their actual batch
the little
label on there, which has a little bit of the artwork on there. It's got the proof. It's got the age statement. And that's the other thing, too. This is like one of the first ones. There's a handful of them out there, but this is one of the first ones that we encountered that the age statement on them is not just 7 years or 10 years or whatever. It's a very, very specific age statement. And we just thought it was unusual, but extremely cool because for example, this is the 23 batch 4. The age statement is 7 years, 2 months, 29 days. That's just cool. Just to say 7 years, well, that's 365 different days that they could have taken it out of the barrel and put it in the bottle. This gets so specific, you know exactly the day that it went into the bottle. And the more time it spends in the barrel, the stronger it's going to get, the more flavors it's going to get. So every single day is actually important. And
hot days, cold days, humid days, dry air days. I don't know if they get that down there in the South, but down there in Louisville.
Yep, right outside of Louisville. So when we were there and stayed at a Airbnb, which was like 14-ish minutes from downtown Louisville.
Not bad at all.
From the Airbnb, Jim Beam was 40 minutes away.
Not bad at all.
Pretty decent little drive. We were there in no time at all.
I like it. How do you want to go about getting into this thing?
Well, I pulled a little bit of information on Booker's.
Okay. So for anybody that needs a review on what Booker's is about and how it came about and all the things.
And as we've dug into this, I have learned, because I was not a Jim Beam fan.
It was not. If you remember those early episodes, he was not. You couldn't see his face because it was audio only, but it's like...
But I was rolling those eyes.
Are you sure?
Jim Beam has a lot to offer.
They really do.
There's a lot of different legs to their portfolio. This happens to be one of their finest, their higher end offerings. And so Booker's Rare Uncut Unfiltered Bourbon. Booker's Bourbon is a rare barrel strength bourbon, bottled, uncut, and unfiltered. But you obviously know a good bit about bourbon because you don't end up here by mistake.
No, you don't.
And that's very true because
Booker's has like no social media presence. They do no advertising. Well, the next sentence happens to be, we don't advertise. We don't do social media. We just do bourbon. Just do bourbon. It's all word of mouth.
It's all word of mouth. When your local liquor store happens to get one or two in, they're gone like that.
Yeah.
So you don't just end up with one of these by accident.
Do you have MSRP on these?
They have varied from year to year, and they have continually gone up.
Okay.
I believe the first one, I think the batch 2, I got that in Vegas for right around $90.
$90. Okay.
The batch 3, actually, now that I say that, batch 4 I got at Thanksgiving last year at Costco.
Oh.
And I believe I paid right at about $70-$75 for it.
Okay.
I think I got you one.
It was kind of hit or miss. Yeah. I did end up getting a bottle. And we found them at that Crown Liquor, I think, out in Blue Springs for, was it 90? Or was it 100?
I think it was 100.
100.
Yeah. I could not get him to budge down.
Right out here at Vape World, used to be Stanley Station. I was just out there again today. They want 150 for a bottle.
Well,
like, nope.
This one, you'll notice we've got 4 in front of us. We've got a 5th one behind us. This is 2024. Well, I'm not talking about Lil Book, but the Booker's 2024 batch 2. The MSRP on that one's $115.
Oh, wow.
So they've gone up a little bit.
Starting to get proud of it.
Yep. But we focus on the sweet spot, the center of the rack house, which I thought that was interesting too. I almost corrected that to Rick House, but I'm like, I wanted to leave that as Rack House. That's right off of the Booker's website. So they refer to it as the Rack House, where the temperature and humidity stars align to create the deepest and most intense flavors. Once it's aged to perfection, which always varies, the liquid is bottled, uncut, and unfiltered.
I like that.
We don't add, we don't water down, and we don't apologize for it. For some people, it may be too much, but for true bourbon fans, it's probably the best ever. I like this too. Here's a quote from Booker himself. Fred, make sure they don't mess with my Bookers. Booker's said that to his son, Fred, when he retired. I think that's cool. So Booker's was Jim Beam's master distiller. He retired, turning it over to his son, Fred who is still an active master distiller, but his son has come up in the ranks and is also a master distiller, Freddie. So it's Fred and Freddie are Jim Beam's master distillers. They're producing Booker's, And then Freddie No, the son, grandson of Booker, produces his Little Book.
Yeah.
Which is
it's like a father-son collaboration.
No, that is just Freddie's one.
Oh, which one's it?
Lineage is the collaboration.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Little Book is just Freddie's project. That comes out once a year. So it's even harder to find than Booker.
Once a year. Wow.
Once a year. One offering.
Well.
One chance to get it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you look at it like that.
The music, the moment you own it.
But it says Booker was a 6th-generation master distiller who grew up at a distillery in the heart of Kentucky. He was born to bourbon. While others rejoiced to drink bourbon at age 21, Booker was thrilled to start making the stuff. In 1992, Booker introduced the world to small batch bourbon. He actually coined the term small batch. I did not know that, and I thought that was super cool. The term small batch, which we hear everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everyone has a small batch. Everyone talks about a small batch, in which we found out with the lineage. Small batch can mean a lot of different things.
Well, I don't know. It said batch. it said batch 1. It didn't say small batch.
For example, I know that Michter's, their small batch size is 20 barrels. That's it. No more, no less. 20 full barrels. With it came his own signature bourbon, Booker's True Barrel Bourbon, inspired by a 200-year-old tradition. Booker's is bottled, uncut, and unfiltered. So yeah, this isn't single barrel, but it is uncut, unfiltered. They pick the number of barrels they decide that they're going to use for the batch. They dump them together and then bottle it up. That's it.
Yeah, and that's what I look forward to. Uncut, unfiltered. We've had that experience with some Smoke Wagon.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. But yeah, this is.
Well, let's jump right on to this. We're going to do, unlike most of our other episodes, where we'll do one-off reviews on that.
We might do one-off. We might do a side-by-side.
We decided to do the entire 2023 collection, all side-by-side, so we can kind of figure out the nuances between the two and rank them accordingly.
Yeah. So at first taste, I thought I thought there was like some grapefruitiness in there. Now I'm not sure, but it is something citrus. I don't know which citrus, like burnt, like caramelized sugar on orange. Know what I mean? Like like we did for a garnish that one time. Yeah, and
I feel like it's instead of vanilla, it's more toffee-ish, marshmallow. Yep. The notes I have here do say that the color of this batch is pleasant to the eye with an amber color of well-aged bourbon. The nose is balanced without too much wood and with hints of oak, toasted nuts, and vanilla.
Oh, I did think walnut because,
Yep.
So there might be a little bit of walnut. Whoops.
And by the way, this batch 1 is titled Charlie's Batch.
Charlie's Batch.
So the distiller's notes on this say, this batch is made up of barrels from 4 production dates that were aged in 4 different warehouses. The breakdown of barrels storage for Booker's Charlie's Batch is as follows. That's one of the things that I think is cool about Booker's is they put on there exactly the percentages and what floor and how many floors were in the warehouse and then the warehouse.
3% came from the 5th floor of our 7-story warehouse Q. 17% came from the 4th floor of our 7-story warehouse G. And it goes on and on. Yeah, let's get this on the palate. So we've got like toffee, vanilla, marshmallow.
Are we going to go ahead and go to palate, or are we just going to nose all the way across?
We can nose all the way across.
That's what I was thinking, just so we can.
Yeah.
I already like the nose better than I liked
maybe because it sat in half a bottle for so long, but
possible.
Yeah, this one's like Rice Krispie treats.
And number 2 is called the Apprentice Batch.
Smells incredible.
You don't mix them up, that's for sure.
Right.
Man, look at the legs on your number 1.
Yeah, I kept doing the spin around thing.
Man.
Again, I mean, there's like the toasted nut thing going on.
There's toasted and a little bit of a char oak going on with that.
Maybe.
Lots of vanilla.
Vanilla, yeah.
Oh, 3 is like a straight creme brulee custard. Number 3 is called the Mighty Fine Batch.
So different.
Wow, I really like that. That's like a vanilla pudding, custardy kind of a.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like straight vanilla fucking pudding. That's really good.
Oh man. And then last but not least, number 4 is called the Storyteller Batch.
Storyteller.
A little bit of that vanilla pudding, but not as strong.
This one reminds me a little bit of batch 2. How it's lighter,
softer.
It's
yeah,
a lot softer, a lot lighter on the palate.
And out of all of them, this one actually has the highest proof.
Kind of marshmallow,
which is interesting. Definitely marshmallow.
Caught a nose of the proof there. All right. Oh, there's something sweet, something kind of mapley, like brandy.
Yes.
You know how like brandy comes off kind of mapley? Maple. Like baked pears.
Mm-hmm.
3, I think 3 hit me with a wow. Yeah, that's something, man. What else did you get on 3 for the nose? It was vanilla pudding, custard all day. But, I mean, that's
Rice Krispie treats.
That's not the only thing. That's what I thought on 2. They all have
some
bit
butterscotch
of a marshmallow thing. Butterscotch.
That's like a butterscotch bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
One thing I noticed about these, we don't have a lot of oakiness on any of them.
No.
And I expected it. Because we talked
I think
about
out of
it
the
on
4,
first one.
I feel like the first one maybe has the most oak.
Yeah. And you can smell cereal grains on the first one.
Mm-hmm. 2 has a little bit of oak going on, like a toasted oak. All right, now I'm ready to get it on the palate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's your cue to say, girl, same.
Yeah, you just bring up the little animated girl. Girl, same. All right.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers to you.
I mean, what's there not to like?
Got
some proof.
Got a little bit of the proof, the burn of the proof.
A little bit of Kentucky hug.
It's like, yeah, Kentucky, it hugs your tongue with a couple little teeth.
And this one being batch 1, Charlie's batch.
That's so good.
Says the aroma that Dad always looked for in his bourbon, in his Bookers. The taste is balanced with a slight warmth and has a pleasant finish. This batch came out just the way Dad liked it, and I know he would be happy that I named it for Charlie. I hope you enjoy this batch of Bookers as much as I do.
Yeah. So caramel explosion for me. Mm-hmm. There is a hint of oak.
What is the candy bar that is the English toffee dipped in chocolate?
Heath?
You know, Heath. It's the Heath bar.
Is that it?
I'm getting like a Heath bar.
So you're picking up chocolate then?
So I'm getting a toffee with a little hint of chocolate with it.
I don't pick up on chocolate on a lot of things. So
definitely some orange citrus in there.
Yeah, warm citrus. Mm-hmm. Oh, you said orange. I thought warm.
did.
Warm orange citrus. And the finish, man, it's long, sweet. Good. It's so sweet. Mm-hmm. The finish almost wows me. Honestly, it's so bright isn't the right word. It's so, I don't know. It's almost like seeing a pair of boobs for your first time. Or the what proof is this? Oh, I have it written up here. Or the 126.6 time. All right, so number 3 on the nose, we had vanilla pudding, custard, butterscotch. Didn't really pick up on a whole lot else, but yeah, you already got your pull there.
I did. I'm just going down the road.
No,
Sorry about that.
You're good.
What's that proof on number 3?
Yeah. Okay, so that's smoother than 1 for sure.
Yep. 126.6 versus 125.5, and one is 126.6. So 1 and 3 are the same proof. Kind of putting that in perspective. So you think 3 is smoother than 1?
I do.
They're both the same proof.
Yeah, it's wild.
There's definitely a. I just remembered. I learned a new term while I was in Louisville. Yeah. So we've talked about for a while now the Kentucky hug. Mm-hmm. There's also the Kentucky stranglehold.
Okay.
That's when you get something that just scorches all the way down and has you in that headlock and does not want to let go.
Right. We've all been there with our whiskeys, our bourbons, our scotches. Like, remember Chivas Regal? I think it's still a scotch out there. First time I tried that, I was like, oh my God. Like,
I still have not tried that.
It was so, I thought it was incredibly harsh. I didn't know what scotch was, I think, at the time. And we killed the whole bottle over the course of, a few months. I had it in a cooler at work. So when the day was done, a buddy of mine that ran the assembly machines next to my paint booth, he'd come over, we'd pour a couple shots or whatever and drink them and enjoy them.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, smooth, oaky, caramel carries over. The finish, what would you say that what are you getting on the finish on number 3?
It is
orange. It's like orange rind. It's like citrus rind, like orange rind right there on the finish. I just noticed that. It takes a few seconds to kick in, like maybe 5 seconds or so.
I'm getting just a hint of
after that proof goes away.
Not as strong as a New York bourbon, but I'm getting a little hint of an apple on that finish.
Apple. Okay. Apple is one, apple and orange citrus or whatever, along with a little bit of caramel. It's why I used to always just go to white label Jim Beam.
It's kind of
because I always expected those were the first tasting notes that I ever found in a bourbon. I was like, now wait a minute, I'm tasting some extra stuff, because I would always just drink it neat.
The Dole or Del Monte mixed fruit can?
Yes. And you're lucky if you have like a cherry.
Cherry in there. But
I love cherries.
There's no apple in that, but it's got peaches, pears, grape.
Orange? Is there orange slice?
I think there is an orange in there.
Grape.
So you're getting kind of a mixture of those. Maybe a little bit of that type of a fruit.
This is incredible for different reasons. Number 4. You saw it.
Wow.
Right? How do you give it a 5 if it's already a 5? Finish is a little bit shorter, I think, but
I thought 3 was my winner, but that 4 snuck in.
That is something.
So Father's Day, we were at Churchill Downs.
Yes.
For the horse races. And Katie wanted to bet on the horses, because why wouldn't you?
Right.
We're at the
and in Rome, bet on the horses.
Dude, that place is enormous. You have there's no frame of reference that actually prepares you for how substantial
football, like Chief Stadium size.
Like 3 Chief Stadium.
Really,
size.
3 of them. Wow. Okay.
It's huge. Like, I took a picture, and the picture is underwhelming because it is there's just so much, and it looks like this really thin horizon line of a thing, but it's massive. So anyway, Katie put a couple bucks down on a horse, and she asked Henry, "What number do you want? 1 through 8?" Okay. And he picked number 8.
So it's not really gambling. He's just
right.
Pick a number.
Is it 1 through 8 or 1 through 10? I think it's 1 through 8. Anyway, he picked number 8. Number 8 was winning the entire way, and then literally like the last third of a second, another horse snuck in there, and
old Sneaky Pete came in there and took over.
Their horses that Henry picked came in second.
It's all right.
So we had him to win. So we got big goose egg.
Goose egg. That means 0 For those
we had
of
a
you
good
that
time.
don't gamble.
We had a good time.
As long as you have a good time.
This year's the 150th anniversary of the Derby.
Oh, very cool.
So we're at the Derby. So guess what? We had to get him in julep.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You sent us. If you go to our Twitter, you'll see a lot of pictures of his whole Louisville trip.
So the first,
Hopefully, you've gone on there and deleted whatever you didn't want me to post.
I don't know.
I don't know. You logged on the other day. I thought, okay, cool. So he's going to double check. It's always good to double check me.
My first julep, they served. Actually, it was not a julep. I'm all over the place here. I forget what I had. It was not the julep. So my first drink was not, but it came in this plastic cup. It's a cool plastic cup. It had like some roses design on there. It had the Churchill Downs 150 on there. Mm-hmm. It's cool plastic keepsake cup.
Whoops.
My second drink came in the Woodford Reserve copper julep cup. Very similar to the one I already had, except for this one has the 150 on there. So it's super cool. And then my third drink I got, I went back to, it actually wasn't the first drink I had, but it was another one. And that one came in a glass with a different design and the 150 on there. So, which is crazy because, the picture, and even the picture with me holding it, it looks like a pint-sized glass, but it's not. It's like a little 8-ounce type glass.
Really? Okay.
Yes, but it looks like a full-size glass in the picture. But
go to Twitter. You'll find it. Twitter X,
not.
Whatever. At Savor the Burn. You'll be able to find it.
And these will be posted up, and I'm going to intermix them in the video too. So
Absolutely.
they're going to be part of here. But
yeah. So on the on going back to number 4 on the palate, I'm thinking of picking up burnt marshmallow.
okay,
Like you caught fire. You're like, God damn it! I'm that way because I like mine to be crispy golden kind of.
Oh no.
Jennifer wants hers blackened. Are you that way too?
I get a flame.
Yeah.
And I let it sit there and I watch it burn. I watch
burn, baby, burn.
But then I always make sure I'm positioned to where I have sitting on my knee my graham cracker
Okay.
and my chocolate bar. And I take the flaming marshmallow and I touch it to the chocolate so that it instantly starts to melt. And I extinguish it by putting the other graham cracker on top of there and pulling the stick out.
When we do our campfire video, coming soon. Well,
we're gonna video that.
It's happening because we got a bottle kill planned, and
We also have some cigars to go through.
we got some cigars. Yeah. So
Dude,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Those blend cigars were all over Louisville.
Are they really?
They're
I saw
awesome.
some at Hy-Vee today. I was like, now wait a damn minute.
Yeah, that's all right though.
Yeah. They were like eight
I'm excited to see
something
them.
at Hy-Vee instead of 7 something right up the street from you. 4 on the finish. I've got vanilla, oak,
I think there's more vanilla pudding.
pudding.
And back to your burnt marshmallow.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also a little bit of that creme brulee kind of a sugary
On the finish.
burnt
You think so? Burnt creme brulee.
palate on through to the end.
I might agree with you.
Need a little more?
I still have
Okay.
most of my flight to go here.
I'm only getting a little bit more because clearly I like that one a lot.
Not to let the cat out of the bag early, but they all got the same score.
Oh, okay.
Every fucking one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I love them all for different
reasons.
We've got, the 5 on the bottle presentation across the board, clearly. Yeah. So I think we can agree. I haven't looked at your notes yet, but did you give it a 5 on bottle presentation?
All day long. All day long.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, we've got wax dip, composite cork. I mean, it's cork. It's not the plastic screw off lid. You got the ribbon. You've got a split label front. I mean, you've got, well, it's not split label. You've got your regular label, and then you've got the batch label. Then on the back, you got your regular government warning type thing. It does give a little bit of description here. Booker's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, distilled and bottled by James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. That number 2 is the smoothest of all.
You think so?
It's like drinking a peanut butter sandwich. I take that back. I don't know what the fuck that meant, but yeah, it's so good.
Out of the 4, that's my lowest number.
Okay. Do you know what you gave it originally?
Oh yeah.
Is it the same number?
Well, I didn't re-rate. I honestly did not re-rate it. Maybe I should have.
Okay. I don't think you should have, because it's not a fresh crack. It's not a fresh bottle.
No. The other ones are fresh cracks.
Yeah. I mean, it's apples to apples, but it's like Red Delicious to Honeycrisp. How are you gonna?
And I ain't mad at it.
How are you gonna judge that?
Because I mean, yeah, my low number out of these 4 total is a 9.13.
9.13. All right, I'm interested. All right, so let's start with number 1. On the nose, I gave it a 4. What'd you give it?
I gave it 4.5.
4.5. So on the nose, we gave it toffee, vanilla, marshmallow, caramel, citrus, walnut. And
it was so good.
And a wow. For me, everything had a wow.
Everything.
Every damn one of these bottles has a wow. So we got the wow.
It not only has a wow, every bottle also has its own unique signature. I mean,
it does.
They are very different bottles. It's not like
right.
There's really no overlap.
Right.
I mean, they all stand on their own.
I think the overlap for all this had the toasted or burnt marshmallow. They all had marshmallow, but with different stages of cooked, if that makes any sense. This one here is like, toasted lightly. Number 2 is toasted light or toasted, medium to kind of light brown marshmallow, just the way I like them on the nose, and that carried all the way through the finish. But we'll get to that in a second. So that's number 1. So I give it a 4. How about the palate?
The palate, I gave it. Ready for this?
Yep.
4 3/4.
4 3/4. Okay.
4.75.
All right. Did it wow you?
Oh, everything wowed me.
Everything wowed me too. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. There's wow all the way across the board.
I thought it was a flawless pour.
One of the things that I find really interesting, and I think this speaks volumes, is that they talk about they bottle it when it's ready. There's no exact science, and that's
Victor's does that a lot.
They do that a lot. Specifically for Booker's, though, that is why their age statement is so specific. Batch number 1 is 7 years, 1 month, 8 days. Very, very specific, because they feel that they bottle it when it's ready.
Yeah, it's ready now. Pull it now.
That said, and then they talk about the sweet spot in the rack house, in the rick house,
like right in the middle.
Right in the middle. So batch 1 is 7 years, 1 month, 8 days. Batch 2, 7 years, 1 month, 2 days. Batch 3, 7 years, 1 month, 10 days.
So they're ballpark the same age.
And number 4, 7 years, 2 months, 29 days.
Okay.
They're all within a month or so of each other. They're all the exact same year.
Number 4 was the first to go. 3 was second to go. I think I'm savoring the burn on number 2 because I really.
Well, I re-poured my number 4, so
yeah, you did a re-pour. What'd you give it on the finish?
4 5/8, 4.625.
That is a funky number. 5/8.
Yeah,
that's your number.
I decided to split some hairs.
Bottle presentation 5.
5.
That's what I gave it. So your final score.
9.4375.
9.4375. What does that mean in a fraction?
I couldn't even tell you.
Mine ended up being a 9.5 on 2023
Being a what?
1.
9.5.
9.5. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was wowed.
I'm right behind you. 4.375 is not that far off of 9.5.
That's. I mean, all 4 of these are incredible bottles.
That's a stellar bottle.
Number 2.
So yeah, I gave number 2 a 4 1/4 on the nose.
Like he said, bottle number 2 has already shown up on a previous episode. So, real quick, the numbers on that, I gave it a 4 on the nose. he gave it a 4.25. On the palate, I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 4.5.
4.5. On the finish, I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 4.5.
On the bottle presentation, I gave it a 5.
And I gave it a 5.
You got a 5. That brought my final score to 9.5.
And mine to a 9.135.
135.
Or
9.13.
9.13.
Which rounded down, if you follow our math, is 1.25, 9.125. So, the computerificated it and turned it into a 9.13. So let's hop over real quick to
number 3.
126 proof, Booker's 2023-3.
What's your nose?
Nose, I gave it a 4. I gave it a solid 4.
I gave it 4.75.
4.75. I do not blame you, because we had vanilla pudding, custard, butterscotch. It's
so
I think
good.
On the nose, why I kept it a 4 and didn't bump it up. It was like some of the whiskeys we try. It's like the notes that we pick up on the nose are fewer, but they're stronger.
Yeah.
This is one of those whiskeys, one of those bourbons.
I need to stop you there.
Yeah.
And I know I don't need to remind you, but I'm going to remind you. This is Jim Beam. You see what I did there?
So tasty. So tasty. Yeah, it's got cereal grains across the board. For me, the cereal is a breakfast cereal, like kid cereal, like Rice Krispies. It's so
okay.
This is, for me, number 3 is a fun whiskey. I mean, this one,
man,
it's just fun. Like, it's summer, it's friends, it's family. It's like, if you want to surprise a family member by giving them an incredible pour, it's going to be Booker's 2023-3.
I bet I'd get some hate mail for this next statement, but
Bring it on, motherfucker.
Can you imagine this in a cocktail?
Info at savortheburn.com. Jonathan at savortheburn.com. W2 at savortheburn.com. Send your emails wherever you want to send them. Just let it rip, tater chip.
I'm just saying, it has so much to offer. It has a hell of a great proof.
I'd start with an old-fashioned. To me, the old-fashioned is the quintessential cocktail by which all bourbons and or whiskeys can be measured.
I would probably start with an old-fashioned and then roll right into a Boulevardier.
A Boulevardier would be incredible. Boulevardier, okay, so you got old-fashioned, you've got Angostura bitters, a little bit of water that you can get from your ice cube if you want. You've got your spirit of choice, and you've got a sweetener of some kind, which for us
is
Demerara syrup, or I use
honey or maple.
I use 100% maple syrup a lot.
I'm good with. all three of those are.
I love those.
Are my favorite.
I love those. Honey's incredible.
Maple or Demerara.
Yeah,
those are my go-tos.
And so when it comes to the Boulevardier, honestly, I've forgotten what all's in a Boulevardier.
Boulevardier is all equal parts spirit, Campari, and sweet vermouth.
Sweet vermouth. Okay, I do have a bottle of sweet vermouth. I don't have any Campari.
We need to get you some Campari.
I'm gonna get some Campari because why not? I mean, I want to make some more cocktails. It's for the
podcast.
It's for the podcast, Jennifer. It's for the podcast. What am I supposed to do? It's R&D, research and development. So anyway, back to it. 2023-3 on the nose. I gave it a 4. What did you give it, Mr. W2?
4 3/4. 4.75.
Yeah. How about the palate? I gave it a 5.
Right on.
Yeah. You too?
I gave it a 4.75.
4.75 is
but. Kudos. That's.
I mean, it's got everything in it that I wanted. A lot of the notes carried over.
Good.
The vanilla pudding custard carried over. It was smooth. It was kind of oaky, which I like. And you started to notice the fruit cocktail on the finish.
It's freaking 126.6 proof.
That's a lot.
And it's smooth.
That's a lot of proof, and you wouldn't expect it 126 proof to be smooth, but it just is. 126.6 proof to be smooth.
Yeah,
but
amazing.
It just is.
What's your finish?
My finish ended up being a 5.
All right. That's awesome. Mine ended up being 4 5/8, 6.25. 4.625.
Very cool. How about bottle presentation?
5 again.
5 again. And your final score?
9.5625.
What is that, 5/8?
That's a little bit less than
is 5/8.
It's a little bit more than a half, a little bit less than 5/8.
Okay. Well, mine was right at 9.5. It's a super solid pour. Like I said, and every single one of these had the wow factor, and I mean, number 3 seems like the best one. Like if you're gonna, it had so much wow that you started thinking about what kind of cocktail would this go great in.
Yeah.
If it wasn't such a bitch to find, and you know, the price can be a little bit cost prohibitive. Just work some overtime, guys. Work a little bit of overtime. Sell some of your fucking Funko Pops on eBay. You know, whatever. Get rid of the, you know, put the couch on eBay or on Craigslist. Put the couch on Craigslist. Sell everything, you know, sell everything in the house and buy yourself some whiskey.
You know what this podcast has done to me? This podcast has, I enjoy a inexpensive daily drinker.
Absolutely.
Just like anyone else. A lot of my go-tos are Blade & Bow. Mm-hmm. That's a $40 bottle.
Yep.
Depending on where you find it, you might find it
it's
for
a funny
35.
story. It's a fun story behind it.
Great story. We stopped there, had some amazing pours. We actually hung out in Pappy Van Winkle's original office.
That was cool.
That's it's super cool.
Yeah, you can see pictures now on the slideshow on this video. If you're watching, if you're listening on Spotify, you can't.
I mean,
but
even
if you
Buffalo
can't
Trace.
see them now, you can go to savortheburn.com or go to the Twitter. I posted them there. X, whatever.
Yep.
At Savor the Burn. Continue,
Even
please.
Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is a great bourbon.
You did not visit Buffalo Trace this time.
Not this visit.
Okay.
You know, but you know,
you were saying.
MSRP. That's a $28 bottle.
Yes.
You know, regionally, maybe $35. Still a cheap bottle.
Yeah. The price has come down.
However,
it was like you couldn't find it.
Yep.
At first, it was fucking everywhere.
Well,
then you couldn't find it, and then it started showing up at second market prices. I'm like, nah, I'm not paying 40.
Recently, they've just
35.
shy of doubled their production, so
Okay.
they are producing a whole lot more. So
We're not going to see that for years.
we should start seeing that pretty soon.
You think so?
I think they started a little ways back.
Okay. Yeah, the whiskey boom wasn't just 2024 or just 2023.
But all that to say, as much as I enjoy,
I think COVID started the whiskey boom.
I'm looking across the room at that Eagle Rare bottle.
Yes.
That is a 10-year bourbon.
Thank you, Faith.
If you find that at MSRP, you're talking about $40 for that bottle. MSRP, that is an expensive bottle, and that's a 10-year straight Kentucky straight bourbon.
Yeah.
Great
a 10
bottle.
year.
All that to say, the farther and farther I get into this, the more and more I enjoy a really good high-end pour.
Yeah. You got your daily drinkers.
These may not, I don't know if I would constitute these daily drinkers because of how high the proof is.
The proof and price.
And yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to pay $150 for a bottle of Booker's.
That you're drinking every day.
Then I'm good. It's not going to be a daily drinker. I mean, I have so many others on my shelf that Jennifer complains about that I need to get rid of that are daily drinkers.
I don't think I told you, but when we were at,
I just don't think Booker's is a daily drinker.
no,
It's a special occasion. It's when you want to, like, you know.
I do enjoy it though.
When you want to flex on a friend, but in a good way, not a douchebag
Right.
way. I'm like, you'll never get any of
I
this.
don't think I told you though, but while we were at Blade & Bow, Faith, Tim, and I, we had a pour of a 17-year Orphan Barrel.
Okay, just random ass Orphan Barrel. Single.
Well, it was there was the recent, or that's the brand, Orphan Barrel.
Oh, okay.
If you saw the labels, you would recognize them. Orphan Barrel always does these super detailed, kind of fairy tale illustrations on their labels. But the brand is Orphan Barrel because
I didn't know that.
the barrels that they come from they go in, they find a distillery that has closed their doors. They're no longer in service. They have a rick house full of barrels. They purchase all of those. A lot of their bottles, they have no age statement. They're not sure how old they are. They can tell you, or they're blending, so they're going to tell you this has X percentage of this, X percentage of that type of thing. Their latest offering was a 17-year bourbon, and
did they tell you whose it was before it became orphaned?
Nope.
That's part.
Don't have that information.
That's part of the story you kind of want to hear, you know.
But that's also part of the intrigue. It's one of my favorite T-shirts from that trip is my Cecil Weller Blade and Bow T-shirt. It says Cathedral of Bourbon.
That was a cool T-shirt. Yeah,
I saw that. It's super simple. It's just a typeface treatment design on there. But I saw that the Cathedral of Bourbon. I was just like, I gotta have that shirt.
And this is butterscotch. Number one is butterscotch all fucking day.
Second nose.
Number two is.
We haven't done 4 yet. Let's
Four.
get into it.
All right, so these back. Nose, I give it a 4 even.
I gave it 4 5/8. 4.65.
That's a solid fucking score. On the
For
palate,
nose?
on the nose especially, yeah. On the palate, I gave it a 5. 5.
Girl, same.
Yeah. Yeah. Second nose is.
Yeah.
It's not Rice Krispies anymore. Palate.
Batch 4, palate all day long, 5.
Finish. How about finish?
I gave finish 4 3/4. 4.75.
Actually, you know what? Booker's 2023-4. I don't have any tasting notes past the nose on this one. I blame the whiskey. I'm just going to go ahead and get that out there. I blame the whiskey. I really tried to be responsible this time, and I got, nose, palate, finish, tasting notes on all of these. Woo! Bottle presentation, 5.
5.
Easy. It's an easy 5 all day. So what did your final score?
9.6875.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
That's
but you know what?
No, 875 is 7/8. So this is a little bit more.
I cannot wait to get these numbers put into the website.
Yeah.
Because I think some more of these bookers are sneaking into our top rankings.
Yeah, right. So if you haven't noticed, if you go to savortheburn.com and you click liquor cabinet, and the first one to pop up is bourbon, and you click see all, and it'll bring down a list. It's like they're listed out by bottle at first, but then it kind of groups. It's a group photo or whatever. Not a group photo. It's like whatever. So you'll see it.
Whiskey.
You'll see it.
God damn. Whiskey.
He brought out the coffee beans. He's trying to reset his palate. Why are you trying to reset your palate?
I don't know. I want to experience it again.
Yeah. If I experience it again, I am not driving home tonight. Right.
Well, I didn't say take another pour. I'm just saying.
He said take another pour. It's for the podcast, Jennifer. What am I supposed to do?
Okay, so we did not give new ratings to number 2. We did not. We just went ahead and just left and kind of skipped over, if you will. We listed them off, but we left them as is. I feel like number 2, the scores we gave,
That's a fair assessment.
Still valid.
Absolutely. So this was a great, just to kind of come in quickly here and try to wrap. This was a great assessment of 2023, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All 4 quarters of the year.
We got 2024 to get into.
Right. Now we just got to find them. This is 2?
This is 2.
This is 2. Now we need 1.
I can find 1.
And 4. You can? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I can find 1.
I can't find... 3
won't be out till September.
I can't find 3 and 4 to save my life. If you have ever seen these Booker's cases and bottles up on a shelf, definitely give them a second glance, and if they're asking for $150 a bottle, try to talk them down a little bit, because these retail these MSRP for close to what, 75, 80.
Yeah, 75
maybe,
to 100,
maybe. Yeah, you can find them second market,
depending on the
75
year,
to
depending
100.
on the batch.
I wouldn't go over $100 for a bottle, but I'd be happy to spend $100 a bottle. But I work a lot of overtime. I'm not talking. I might be talking from a point of white privilege. I don't know, but these bottles, all four of them, are incredible, and each for their own separate reasons. So I, Jonathan at savortheburn.com, definitely encourage you to grab one of these bottles, even if it's
100%.
2024, if it's 2025. I don't know
Yeah.
when you're going to watch this video. It could be 2030 and you're going to watch this video. If you find Booker's, try it.
I have heard several
Go
people.
somewhere and get a pour. I bet you could get a pour at Whiskey Snug. If you're in the Kansas City area, head north to St. Joe. Go to the Whiskey Snug.
I've heard a lot
Get
of
a
people.
pour.
I've heard people locally, and I've heard a lot of the Whiskey Tube channels. The latest Bookers, which is the 24 batch 2, say this one, hands down, one of the best in a long time. So the ratings we gave on these,
That's a bold statement.
if that's better, I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, those nipples just got hard thinking about it.
Speaking of,
Yeah, hard nipples.
no, well, yes, but that's a good looking shirt you got there.
Yeah,
Where'd you get that at?
I got this at savortheburn.com/shop. $20, and this sumbitch came right to me.
We got 4 different colors.
4 different colors. We've got green, blue, black, and gray. But they have different.
Or
they have
also
different names.
charred cask,
Charred cask,
smoky peat, rye,
rye, and foolproof,
foolproof,
which is the
which
the
is
blue.
an indigo dark blue.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. We would love you to support the Savor the Burn podcast in any way you can. You can go to savortheburn.com, click that drop down menu, and we have a Patreon link for those of you that are interested and willing and love us. Of course, you love us. If you've seen one episode, you love us. I mean, what's not to love about this? Hey, Mr. Wizard Fingers W2. Anyway, so if you've ever thought about getting Booker's, don't think about it anymore, guys. Just get it.
See it, do it.
Get it. Enjoy it. If you don't like it, let us know. Maybe we'll absorb that bottle from you. But 2023, 1 through 4, for me, I mean, they're all 9.5. They're damn near
9
10.
plus.
They're 9+. You're not going to have a bad pour from any one of them.
That 4 is incredible.
Yes. So no matter who you are, where you are, who you're drinking with, and what you're drinking, never forget, keep on burning.